This is a video to help you study for your quiz on 3-1 through 3-3. I'm going to quickly go through some problems. Feel free to pause the video when you need to. So I do have lots of things available for you to help you study. I always recommend making a study guide. That's a good thing to do, to write down how you find the vertex, how you find domain and range, just kind of like a little cheat sheet. I also have a review on Blackboard under Notes and Homework. That was made with the same software that was used to make the quiz, so that is going to be really similar to what your quiz looks like. And I also have a quizzes on that's available for you, and there's the code. So these things are optional. These are things that you should definitely be doing to help you study. But you have, for a grade, book work that I gave you an extension on, so make sure you're doing that. The answers are available on Blackboard in the answers for the book section. If you can't find it, let me know. And then the 3-3 homework quiz, which we started on in class. If you didn't finish that, finish that. So I'm going to quickly go through each section and what you need to know. So in the first section, you need to know how to find vertex, maximum, and all that stuff. So, if something's in vertex form, if I have x minus 3 squared plus 2, I can look at this right off the bat and say, the vertex is located at 3, 2. I know it's a parabola facing upward, so that point is 3, 2. And I know that because I know my transformation rules. This is going up 2, and this is going right 3. Once you know your vertex, then you can answer things like where the max or min is. There's always going to be a max if it's negative, and there will be a min if it's positive. And I'm talking about the sign that's in front of here. So this is positive, so I would have a minimum value at 2. That's the height of it, which also relates to range. So if I was going to do the range, I would say from 2 to infinity. Domain is always all real numbers. I can also answer things about the axis of symmetry, which would be at 3, it's always the x value. I could answer things about the y-intercepts and the x-intercepts. You find the y-intercepts by plugging in 0 everywhere that you see an x. Work that out. And you find the x-intercepts by solving for x, setting this equal to 0, moving over that value, taking the square root, don't forget your plus or minus, and then add over the 3. Now before you square root, you have to have this piece isolated. So if there's a negative or a number, you have to do that first. So this is pretty simple. What makes it more challenging is when it's in standard form. So if I have something like 3x squared minus 6x minus 4, okay? This is in standard form, so you need to use complete the square. So the steps of complete the square are to move your C piece over. If there's a number or a negative out in front here, you have to factor out that number or that sign. So I'm going to pull out the 3, which leaves me with 2. Then you're going to take half of this number and square it. So half of negative 2 is negative 1, squared is 1. You have to add that number to both sides, but keep in mind if you factored something out, you didn't put a 1 here. You put 1 times 3, so I have to add a 3 to this side. The next thing I'm going to do is factor this. The sign will always be whatever this sign is, and this number will always be the square root of this, or the number that you took half of this, same number. Super close to being in vertex form, all I have to do is move this back over, and now I'm back to where I was before. I can answer that the vertex is at 1, negative 7. I can say that the range starts at negative 7 and goes to infinity. If this was negative, then it would go to negative infinity. I can answer all those questions. So if you're struggling with complete the square, look up some videos on complete the square. But that's all you need to know from 3-1. It's how to do complete the square, how to find the vertex, how to find if there's a max or min, domain and range. That's x and y intercepts. In 3-2, we talk about polynomials in general. Well, a lot of those same concepts apply. It helps if you know your end behavior. There are 4 cases: positive and even, negative and even, positive and odd, negative and odd. P-ni, po-no. Works for me. All right, so those are your 4 cases. And I can say as x goes to infinity, y goes to infinity. As x goes to negative infinity, y goes to infinity. Okay? Know how to do problems like that. The other thing is being able to look at a polynomial, whether it's factored or not factored, and be able to answer things like the degree of that function. So I'll give you 2 examples. If I have something that's already factored, like x squared times x minus 1 times x plus 3. If it's all factored out, broken into pieces, all you have to do is add up the powers. So this would be squared, and then this would be, there's no power here, it's 1, so 2, 3, 4. So this would be a 4th degree function. If you have something that's not factored, you just look at the highest power, and that would be the 3rd degree. Now, if it's to the 4th degree, it'll have 3 turning points. If it's to the 3rd degree, it'll have 2 turning points. Okay, so that's going to help you with your shape. Another thing is y-intercepts. It's the same process as before. You just plug in 0 for x. So that works for both sections. X-intercepts. If it's already factored, like this one, all I have to do is set each piece equal to 0. So 0, 1, negative 3. If it's not factored, you're going to need to factor it. So look at taking out a GCF, look for a difference of squares, maybe try some Martinsville, practice your factoring. That's why we spent a whole day on just factoring. The other thing is knowing your multiplicities. If I have something with an even power, it's going to touch that graph at that point. If it has an odd power, it's going to cross through. All right, so let me work through an example. Let's say I have 6x minus 3x squared. And I'm going to graph this polynomial. Well, first thing I need to do is look at the degree, which the highest power is the piece you want to focus on. This would be a 2nd degree. I want to look at the shape, and that goes back to my P-ni, po-no. This is even and negative, so it's going to be facing downward. If it's the 2nd degree, it's going to have 1 turning point. And if I want to find my x-intercepts, I can try factoring by taking out a GCF. Both of these, I can go on a negative 3x, and that leaves me with x minus 2. If you set each piece equal to 0, you'll get 0 and 2. This is an even power, or not an even power, it's an odd power, it's 1, and this is an odd power 1, so these are both going to cross through. I can find my y-intercept by plugging in 0 for x. I plug in 0 for both of these, but I'm just going to get 0. And so I can use that to graph. And say, okay, it goes through 0, it goes through 2, I know the shape, I get my graph. That works for this is a quadratic, but it works for any polynomial. Knowing your end behavior, shape, x and y intercepts. Now, if I tell you the zeros, if I say the zeros are at 3, negative 2, and 1, I can write out my factors. They're just going to be the opposite. And if you want to know the polynomial, you can FOIL, and then FOIL again, or distribute. All right, the last section is dividing polynomials. And so if you have, let's say we've got 3x to the third plus 2x squared minus 6. And I'm going to divide that by x plus 1. So I can solve this problem one of two ways. I can use synthetic division, because synthetic division works when you have just x all by itself. There's no powers, there's no numbers in front. Or I can use the long way, and so I'll just do both. And if you need more help with this, then just look up long division with polynomials or synthetic division. The very first thing you want to check for is to see if there's any gaps in powers. So right here, I'm going from x to the first to x to the 0. So I'm good. Here, I'm going 3 to 0. There's an issue. There's a gap right here. So I want to start by rewriting the problem. And I'm going to put in 0 or 0x wherever I have a gap. And sometimes you will have more than one. And sometimes you'll have gaps here and here. So that's the starting point. Then you want to ask yourself, what can I multiply? Focus on just this piece right here and focus on this piece. What can I multiply to x to get 3x cubed? And that would be 3x squared. You're going to take this and multiply it to each piece. So I get 3x cubed plus 3x squared. Subtract. So that gives me 0 and negative 1x squared. Bring down your next piece. Then you do that process all over again. You focus on this and you focus on the beginning. And you say, what can I multiply to x to get negative 1x squared? Negative 1x. So you take negative 1x, you multiply it to each piece, negative 1x squared, negative 1x, and then you subtract. When you subtract, the signs are going to change. That cancels out. It always should. That first piece should always be canceling out. If it's not, you've got a problem. And then I get 1x, bring down the negative 6. I'm going to do it one more time. What can I multiply to x to get 1x? Just 1. Redistribute, get 1x plus 1, subtract, that zeroes out, and that gives you negative 7. And there's two ways you can write your answers. You can say 3x squared minus 1x plus 1 with a remainder of 7. Just put it back over this piece. I can also take my answer and multiply it by the original piece here and add on my remainder. These are both correct formats. Okay? So that's just really quick review of everything that's going to be on there. Some things that you can do, I'm going to go back here, is look at that review on Blackboard. That's going to help you out a lot. And it's set to show you the answers when you're finished. Okay? You can always text me or remind me. And I'm going to be here in the morning on Wednesday, September 26th at 7:50. There's a quizzes code, and you can look up more videos on YouTube. You can go to Khan Academy. You can look up worksheets on CUDA. There's a lot of good stuff out there. So use the internet, use your resources, and if you need help, reach out to me. Okay? And keep in mind, your Chapter 3 test can replace this. So if you're still struggling with one of these concepts, we just need you to have it mastered by test time. Okay? The quiz will let us know what we need to work on. All right, good luck.